today's video I'm going to feature a newspaper I found in the loft recently, the New Musical Express, featuring Paul Weller on the front cover with the title Paul Weller's Private Hell: How to Live With Yourself When the World Is Your Oyster But the Future's a Clam, by Paul Morley. Now in 1979 the NME cost 20 pence, which putting that into an inflation calculator comes out at 98 pence in today's money. That would be an absolute bargain for a paper like this. Of course, in those days there was 4 weekly music papers: the NME, Sounds, Melody Maker and Record Mirror. It's such a shame they don't do anything like that these days. This was one of my favourite features, the charts of the week. So in this week 1979, number 1 was One Day at a Time by Lena Martell. Number 2 was When You're in Love by Dr. Hook, and number 3 was Every Day Hurts but by Sad Cafe. There were some good songs as well: 17, Dreaming, Blondie; 20, On My Radio, The Selector; 21, Message to You, Rudy by The Specials; and number 30, The Great Rock and Roll Swindle by the Sex Pistols. In the UK album charts that week, it was topped by The Police with Regatta de Blanc. This was on page 3, Jam Ad. The Jam have added another 4 dates to their extensive UK tour, starting next month and running up to Christmas. In fact, the new opening date is now Poole Art Centre on November the 18th. They added some other dates as well at Southampton, Lancaster University and Bath Pavilion. Here's a page spread on The Chords, a band very much influenced by the Jam. And The Who have added an extra show on Saturday the 17th of November at 8 p.m. Tickets £4, available now. So here's the interview by Paul Morley, pictures by Penny Smith, about Paul Weller and the Jam. The revolution will start when Paul Weller has supped his pint. So here's a quote from that interview. That's how I feel. It's a lazy attitude, but in another sense it's a realistic one. There's all this going on in the world, Cuba and nuclear threats, but as long as I've got enough for a pint, I can tolerate it. This interview was round about the time that Setting Suns was released, late 1979. Here's another quote from the interview. I feel lucky, I feel proud, I feel all those things to have got to where I am, to be able to make records. It's a bit of luck and it's conviction, what you feel, what you believe in. I'll never go cap in hand though. Thank you for putting me here. Here's an advert for the Marquee Club. And if you notice, on the 2nd of November, John's Boys are playing, with support from the Nips and DJ Ian Fleming. Here's something I found out online about this gig. The Jam's gig tonight at the Marquee was billed as John's Boys. Word must have leaked out that John's Boys were in reality the Jam, because the club was packed. The Jam haven't played a venue the size of the Marquee in London since early last year. Tickets sold at a record pace for this gig, which turned out to be one of the worst kept secrets of the year. Shane MacGowan's band The Nips opened up this show. Some more gigs here: Psychedelic Furs, The Skids, Human League, The Teardrop Explodes, The Beat, Back to Zero, The Mods, The Quads, Dolly Mixtures, Caravan Again, Saxon, The Buzzcocks. Now I don't know about you, but I had something very similar to this cassette recorder that I used to plug up to the radio and record my favourite songs every week off the radio. I used to love these ads at the back of the newspaper. Get yourself a t-shirt with a Jam on it. There's a Lambretta one and a Mods t-shirt. I'd have been all over that at the age of 12. So there we are, the NME from the 3rd of November 1979. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.